ഗുഡ് മോർണിംഗ്. അപ്പോൾ ഇന്നലെ പറഞ്ഞ പ്രപ്പോസിഷനിൽ ഒരു പാർട്ടാണ് നമ്മൾ പ്രൂവ് ചെയ്ത് കഴിഞ്ഞത്. ഇനി ഒരു 2 പാർട്ടും കൂടെ ഉണ്ട്. മെയിനായിട്ട് സെക്കൻഡ് പാർട്ടാണ് പ്രൂവ് ചെയ്യാനുള്ളത്. തേർഡ് പാർട്ട് നമുക്ക് പെട്ടെന്ന് കിട്ടും. അപ്പോൾ സെക്കൻഡ് പാർട്ട് പ്രൂവ് ചെയ്യുന്നത്, സെക്കൻഡ് പാർട്ട് എന്താ പറയുന്നത്? പ്രപ്പോസിഷൻ്റെ സെക്കൻഡ് പാർട്ട് എന്താ പറയുന്നത്? എഫ് ഇസ് ഇൻഫിനിറ്റ്ലി ഡിഫറൻഷ്യബിൾ ഓൺ BAR, അല്ലേ? ഓപ്പൺ ബോൾ എഫ് ഇസ് ഇൻഫിനിറ്റ്ലി ഡിഫറൻഷ്യബിൾ ഓൺ BAR. What is BAR means? It is an open ball with a center at A and a radius capital letter R. So, in the first part we proved that if f of z has a power series expansion and if the radius of convergence of that series expansion is R, then the derivative series also have the same radius of convergence. We proved that part. The second part is about if the power series has a radius of convergence capital letter R greater than 0, then and that power series, suppose that power series converges to f of z. F of z is what? F of z is equal to summation is equal to 0 to infinity an z minus a whole raised to n. So if this series converges to f of z, this f of z is infinitely, if its radius of convergence r is strictly greater than 0, then its derivative sequence also have the same radius of convergence. And in the second part of the proposition, we will show that this function f of z is infinitely differentiable. This function f of z is infinitely differentiable means it is analytic. Infinitely differentiable on BAR. BAR means open ball with the center at A and radius capital letter R. So this is infinitely differentiable on BAR means it is analytic on BAR. So if f of z has a power series expansion with the radius of convergence r greater than 0, then f of z is analytic on BAR. A is the center of the series. R is the radius of convergence. So f of z is analytic. Infinitely differentiable means it is analytic. So in the second part we need to show that f of z is infinitely differentiable. And that derivative, infinitely differentiable means f dash of z exists, f double dash of z exists, etc. And that derivative must be equal to, kth derivative is what? Kth derivative, fk of z. Fk of z is equal to sigma, fk of z is equal to fk of z. Fk of z is equal to n into fk of z is what? Kth derivative of f of z. Kth derivative of f of z is equal to what? Summation n is equal to f dash of z. You know that f dash of z is what? So f dash of z, the summation is from n is equal to 1 to infinity in the case of f dash of z. So in the case of kth derivative of f of z, the summation begins from k to infinity n into n minus 1 into etc. n minus k minus 1. N minus k minus 1 means n minus k plus 1. You go through the second part. An z minus a whole raised to what? Z minus a whole raised to n minus k. Okay, so it is infinitely differentiable and fk of z must be of this form that we need to prove. So to prove the second part, you just define these terms. For mod z less than r, R is what? R is the radius of the circle with the center at origin. So here you take z from the interior of this circle. Okay, and let me to define the term g of z is equal to sigma n is equal to 1 to a. This g of z is what? You just look at these terms. N, A, N, Z raised to N minus 1. So G of Z is, you know that it is F dash of Z. And Sn of Z is equal to sigma K is equal to 0 to N, A, K, Z raised AK is Z raised to K, and Rn of Z is equal to sigma K. You just define these terms, okay, to prove F of Z is differentiable. F dash of Z exists. It is infinitely differentiable on BAR, and its derivative is of this form. You choose these terms or try to define these terms. Okay, now you choose a point from the interior of the circle. You know that R is the radius of convergence of F of Z. So you just consider the circle with radius R and a center origin and choose a point from the interior of that circle. Okay, now we are going to prove that F of Z is differentiable. F of Z is differentiable on BAR. Okay. So to prove it is differentiable, you just consider a point W such that modulus of W less than R. Consider another point, modulus of W less than R. And we will show that F of Z is differentiable at this point W. Okay, also for proving the required result, just choose another real number R such that mod W less than small letter r less than capital letter R. So you just compare the circles. Okay, mod W is less than R means your W belongs to B0R. B0R means circle with the center at origin and radius R. So W is contained in the interior of this circle. വലിയ സർക്കിളിൻ്റെ അകത്ത് ഒരു ചെറിയ സർക്കിൾ, അതിൻ്റെ റേഡിയസ് R, center, origin. W is contained in that circle. Okay. Now again we restrict this circle. ഇതിനെ വീണ്ടും ചെറുതാക്കുകയാണ്. എന്താണ് ചെയ്യുന്നത് നമ്മൾ? W center ആയിട്ട് again we consider another circle. W center ആയിട്ട് ഡെൽറ്റ റേഡിയസ് ആയിട്ട് ഒരു സർക്കിൾ ഈ ചെറിയ സർക്കിൾ സ്മോൾ ലെറ്റർ R റേഡിയസ് ആയിട്ടുള്ള സർക്കിളിനകത്ത് കൺസിഡർ ചെയ്യുകയാണ്. W center ആയിട്ട്, അതായത് that means BW. Let me to take the radius of that circle as delta. BW delta is contained in B0R. So you this circle W center and the radius delta in such a way that that circle is contained in the circle with the center at origin and radius small letter R. Now we have to show that your F of Z is differentiable at this point W. So to prove, you know that when will we can say that a function F of Z is differentiable at a point A? We already defined. Okay, so to prove your F of Z is differentiable at the point W, you just consider F of Z minus F of W divided by Z minus W. You know that what we are our path is clear to you. I think my path is clear to you. F of Z minus F of W, you need to show that F of Z is differentiable at the point W. Okay, so F of Z minus F of W divided by Z minus W. Minus what is your F dash of W here? You just look at this function G of Z. G of Z is what? Sigma n is equal to 1 to infinity n a n z raised to n minus. So you want to show that F is differentiable at this point W, and F dash of W is of the form sigma n is equal to 1 to infinity n a n W raised to n minus 1. So you can take here the term as G of W. F of Z minus F of W divided by Z minus W minus g of w. Now you can now you try to convert these two terms in terms of the previously defined terms. Okay, this is equal to this. We can write as how we can write in terms of the g of z, Sn of z, etc. We can write this in the form some Sn of z, minus Sn of w divided by Sn of z minus Sn of w divided by z minus w minus Sn dash of w. Okay, ഞാൻ എക്സ്പ്ലെയിൻ ചെയ്യാതെ കേട്ടോ. നമ്മൾ നേരത്തെ ഡിഫൈൻ ചെയ്ത ടേംസിൻ്റെ ഇതിലോട്ട് കൺവേർട്ട് ചെയ്യുകയാണ് അതിനെ. പ്ലസ് Sn ഡാഷ് ഓഫ് w വന്നതുകൊണ്ട് അതെന്ത് ചെയ്യണം, ആഡ് ചെയ്യുന്നു, സബ്ട്രാക്ട് ചെയ്യുന്നു. അപ്പോൾ ഇവിടെ സബ്ട്രാക്ട് ചെയ്തു. അപ്പോൾ Sn ഡാഷ് ആഡ് ചെയ്തു മൈനസ്, അപ്പോൾ ഇവിടുത്തെ ആരാ പോയത്, ഇവിടുത്തെ പോയത് g ഓഫ് w അല്ലേ, മൈനസ് g ഓഫ് w വരണം, അത് വന്നു. എഗെയിൻ പ്ലസ് ഇന്നൊരു ടേമും കൂടി ഉണ്ടല്ലോ, Rn അല്ലേ, Rn of z minus Rn of w divided by z minus w. സോ അപ്പോൾ ഈ രണ്ട് സൈഡും ഈക്വൽ ആണോ എന്നാണ് നമ്മുടെ ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ. വാട്ട് അബൌട്ട് ഇൻ ദി ലെഫ്റ്റ് ഹാൻഡ് സൈഡ് എഫ് ഓഫ് സെഡ് മൈനസ് എഫ് ഓഫ് ഡബ്ല്യു ഡിവൈഡഡ് ബൈ സെഡ് മൈനസ് ഡബ്ല്യു, അതിനെ കംപ്ലീറ്റ് ആയിട്ട് റീപ്ലേസ് ചെയ്തു. ജി ഓഫ് ഡബ്ല്യു അവിടെ കിടക്കുന്നുണ്ട്. അപ്പോൾ അയാളെ കുറിച്ച് ബോധർ ചെയ്യേണ്ട. ബാക്കി നമ്മൾക്ക് എന്ത് ചെയ്യണം, ഈ ജി ഓഫ് ഡബ്ല്യു മാറ്റി നിർത്തി കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ ബാക്കിയുള്ള ടേംസുകളെല്ലാം കൂടെ ഓപ്പറേറ്റ് ചെയ്ത് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ, മൈനസും പ്ലസ് ഒക്കെ ഇടയിൽ കിടക്കുന്നുണ്ട് അല്ലേ, അപ്പോൾ അതൊക്കെ കൂടെ ഓപ്പറേറ്റ് ചെയ്ത് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ നമ്മൾ എവിടെ എത്തിച്ചേരണം, എഫ് ഓഫ് സെഡ് മൈനസ് എഫ് ഓഫ് ഡബ്ല്യു ഡിവൈഡഡ് ബൈ സെഡ് മൈനസ് ഡബ്ല്യു കിട്ടുന്നുണ്ടോ എന്ന് നോക്കണം അല്ലേ, ചെക്ക് ചെയ്യാം. Sn of z minus Sn of w. Sn of z minus Sn of w. Here you just look at these two terms. Sn of z minus Sn of w. Denominator is same, so you can combine the term. Sn of z plus Rn of z. Sn of z plus Rn of z is what? Sn of z is this. Sn of z is this. Okay, Sn of z is this, and Sn of w is you just replace z by w. Okay, so Sn of z plus Rn of z. Sn of z is this, Rn of z നോക്കുക, ഡിഫൈൻ ചെയ്ത് ശ്രദ്ധിക്കുക. n വെച്ച് ഇവിടെ നിർത്തി, n+1 മുതലാണ് ഇത് തുടങ്ങുന്നത്, ഏത് Rn തുടങ്ങുന്നത്, Rn തുടങ്ങുന്നത് അല്ല, ഇവിടെ n വെച്ച് നിർത്തി, n+1 to infinity. So Sn of z plus Rn of z is what? Sn of z plus Rn of z is sigma k is equal to 0 to infinity ak z raised to k. What is that summation, that series? Sigma k is equal to 0 to infinity ak z raised to k. What is that series? That is your f of z. Okay, that is your f of z. So now you try to combine these two terms, Sn of minus of, so you got f of z. Now you just combine Sn of w മൈനസ് പുറത്തോട്ട് എടുക്കുക, Sn of w, ഡിനോമിനേറ്റർ സെയിം ആണല്ലോ, അപ്പോൾ നമുക്ക് ചെയ്യാലോ. Sn of w plus Rn of w, സിമിലർ ആർഗ്യുമെന്റ്, യു ക്യാൻ ഷോ ദാറ്റ് ദിസ് ഇസ് ഈക്വൽ ടു f of w. സോ നമുക്ക് എന്ത് കിട്ടി, ഇത് രണ്ടും കൂടെ കമ്പൈൻ ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ വി ഗോട്ട് ദിസ് പോയിന്റ്, ദിസ് ടേം എഫ് ഓഫ് സെഡ് മൈനസ് എഫ് ഓഫ് ഡബ്ല്യു ഡിവൈഡഡ് ബൈ ഇസഡ് മൈനസ് ഡബ്ല്യു. ഇസ് ക്ലിയർ? Now g of w is there, and one extra term Sn dash of w, you add and subtract that term, so that term will get cancelled. Okay, so these terms will give f of z minus f of w divided by z minus w minus g of w. What we need to prove? We need to show that f dash of z exists and f dash of z is equal to, f dash of w exists. F is differentiable at w, at the point w. You choose w from the open ball BAR. What is your second part of the proposition says? F is infinitely differentiable on the open ball BAR. If R is the radius of convergence and A is the center of the power series, then you need to show that your f of z is infinitely differentiable on the open ball BAR, and the derivatives of the form some fk of z is equal to, the derivative must be in this form. So to prove that, we take f of z minus f of w divided by a. You take w from BAR, and we will show that your f of z is differentiable at the point w, and derivative f dash of w is of the prescribed form, this form. So this form means you just compare with the sigma n is equal to 1 to infinity n a n z raised to n minus 1. So we need to show that this limit exists. That means modulus of f of z minus f of w divided by limit z tends to w. Modulus of f of z minus f of w divided by z minus w minus g of z is g of w exists. Okay. So how we will show that limit z tends to w, f of z minus f of w divided by z minus w equal to g of w. Limit into definition. Given epsilon greater than 0, there exists a positive integer. Our definition thaneyana. So here these two terms are we rewrite these two terms in terms of some Sn, Rn and Sn and Rn. So here Sn, Rn and G. So here there are three terms. To prove limit z tends to w, this minus g of w exists, we need to show that modulus of this is less than something, less than epsilon for every n greater than or equal to something. Okay, so to prove limit z tends to w, this exists, we have to show that modulus of distance between these two is less than epsilon. Is it clear to you? So now we are moving to the right hand side. Sn of z minus Sn of w divided by z minus w. So first we consider the term Rn of z minus Rn of w divided by z minus w. What about this term? You take that term separately. Rn of z minus Rn of w divided by z minus w. This is what? Rn of z minus Rn of w divided by z minus w. You know that what is your Rn here? This is your Rn. So Rn of z minus Rn of w is what? This is equal to 1 by z minus w. Rn of z, you know that ak z raised to k, Rn of w ak w raised to k. So you just combine. So this is equal to summation k is equal to n plus 1 to infinity. What is the common term here? ak. What is Rn of w? ak z raised to k minus w raised to k. 1 by z minus. You can take this z minus w to the interior of the summation. So what will happen? Z minus w. This is a familiar term. Z raised to k minus w raised to k divided by z minus w. What is this? You know that. What is an minus bn? A raised to n minus b raised to n. You know that. A minus b into a raised to n minus 1. A raised to n minus 1 plus a raised to n minus 2 into b plus a raised to n minus 3 into b square plus etc. plus b raised to n minus 1. You know this result. So what about this term? What about this? A raised to n minus b raised to n is equal, a raised to n minus b raised to n divided by a minus b is a raised to n minus 1 plus a raised to n minus 2 into. So you just apply this relation to here also. So what will happen? This will changes into z raised to k minus 1. Z raised to k minus 1. What is the next term? Z raised to k minus 1 plus. You just apply this relation here. instead of A, here Z, and instead of B, here W. So Z raised to K minus 1 plus Z raised to K minus 1 in, K minus 2 into W plus etc. plus, what about the last term? No, I want to put one more term. What is the third term? Z raised to K minus 3 W is W square plus etc. plus, what about the last term? Last term is what? Last term is what? Just look at this B raised to N minus 1. So the last term is W raised to K minus 1. So how many terms are there in this expansion? W raised to 0. Here W raised to 0. W raised to 0 is 1. So W raised to 0, W square, 0 to K minus 1. So you know that there are K terms. Okay. So also you know that mod Z is what? Mod Z is what? What about your, you just take modulus. Just take modulus. So here also you need to take the modulus and just apply the triangle inequality. So this is less than or equal to, this is less than modulus of Z raised to K minus 1 plus modulus of Z raised to K minus 2 into mod W plus modulus of Z raised to K minus 3 into mod W square, etc. So what will happen to each of the term? Modulus of Z. Now you are choosing your Z from you are choosing your Z from BW delta. Your Z is from BW delta. What about your open ball BW delta? BW delta is contained in B0 of R. So what about the modulus? Mod Z is what? Mod Z is less than R. What about mod W? Mod W is also less than R. So what about the sum? What about this? There are K terms and each term, modulus of Z raised to K minus 1 is less than or equal to R raised to K minus 1. Modulus of Z raised to K minus 2 into mod W. Modulus of Z raised to K minus 2 is less than or equal to R raised to K minus 2. And mod W is less than R. So combine these two terms, we also get R raised to K minus 1. So K terms and each term is less than or equal to R raised to K minus 1. So we can put this sum as it is less than or equal to K terms. Each term is less than or equal to R raised to K minus 1. Is it clear to you? Is it clear? K R raised to K minus 1. Now we move to your previous expansion. So you obtain that modulus of Z raised to K minus W raised to K divided by modulus of Z minus W is less than or equal to K into R raised to K minus 1. So what about your Rn of Z?